Things with my EFAT, or Engine Failure at Takeoff, weren't quite what I expected because there were some unexpected results. So who was that in the black jet? That was very interesting today. I'm actually at the Aero Club this morning. We're going to have lunch together with a group of us here. But I'm actually really on video this morning right now just to explain what's coming up with these impossible turn videos. You've already seen in the previous video the theory of what will happen when we turn into wind versus when we turn with the wind after our engine fails on takeoff at 500 feet. So what I wanted to do here is just talk about briefly the fact that we've had a few comments on Facebook that I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be showing people this. Well, if people are trained to with an instructor to do certain things, they should do that. That should be exactly what they're doing. They should not do what I'm doing. And whatever they're trained to do, if it is an engine failure at takeoff, if it is a forced landing, they should be practicing it because you need to be fluent in your aircraft's design. Well, basically its performance. If you can't get it right when you need to, you know, it's because you haven't trained. If you can do the training, if you can do the practice, then you've got more chance of coming out of it well when it does happen, if it does happen. To motivate and encourage those who pursue aviation and adventure to fulfill their dreams and live enriched lives. In an upcoming video, we've actually discussed a better way to perform the takeoff maneuver, if you like, and that builds in a little bit more risk mitigation or correction ability if you should have to turn back to the runway. The whole point of doing this exercise is to find out what the aircraft performance is and to know what you are able to do should the aircraft engine fail on takeoff. Should you go straight ahead into the trees, or do you have a possibility of getting back to the runway? Again, that's only possible if you've practiced it and you know the aircraft. In the upcoming video, we'll actually be doing the flight. We'll be doing the impossible turns as what would normally happen if you've taken off down the center axis of the runway, climbed to 500 feet and turned left or turned right after engine failure. What happens? Can you get it back onto the runway? Can I? But before we did that, I did this. I'll have to show you what happened with this practice. I was so spooked a little, well, rather I suppose, spooked by what happened when I did this upcoming video series, next episode. I actually went out and practiced from 2,000 feet, and this video now shows you what happened. So enjoy this one, and then as I said, the next one will be the flights before I practice those ones from 2,000 feet.
No problem. This morning we're going to practice short field landings. I'm going to try and get it as short as I can. But before we do that, I've had a few comments about this turn back, impossible turn, 180 degree turn video that we're going to be putting out there soon. Maybe they'll come out in the other order. I think they probably will actually. But the thing is, the safest way to practice this is go up to like 2,500.
656, taxing for runway 35, Maryborough.
Go up to 2,500 or 3,000 or some height you feel comfortable with, and try turning up there. Find something on the ground in a safe area, and use that as a reference line, and then try power off and do a 180 degree turn and see if you can line up on the other side and see how much altitude you actually lose on the turn, the 180, and then you'll get an idea of how your aircraft is performing during that maneuver. Anyway, we're going to get on with it, so let's do that. We're just warming up now. Got to make a phone call in a moment. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340, enters backtracks 17 Maryborough. Fuel is good for 3 hours. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340, lines up rolls 17 for a left-hand departure out to the east, Maryborough. The volume is down. Okay, there we go. Alrighto, takeoff, roll, left-hand departure, return to runway 17, or option on the 30 if I haven't got right round. Let's roll. Oh, where are you this morning? Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340, airborne 17, left-hand departure, crosswind out to the east, climbing through 1,000 for 1,500, Maryborough traffic. Alright, so as I said, we're going to experiment with, just level off here. Going to experiment with level power off. We're going to find a reference line on the ground. We're going to climb to, we're at 1,500 now, so that's more than adequate. And we're just going to find a reference line and kill the power, not turn it off, but idle, and then turn and see how much height we lose by the time we get back around.
Harvey Bay traffic over 7656 is 10 miles to the southwest. We'll be over the line of field and traffic direct for Fraser Island. Harvey Bay traffic.
So we're using the reference line, that reference on the ground, as if it were a runway. Okay, so we'll fly along it and do a 180 and fly back, and then we'll check when we get lined up how much altitude we've lost in that process. If you're at 1-2, we're a little bit high now, but that's fine. We'll just kill more power. We're nearly in the area that we want to be testing this. It's a danger area, which is a training area to the east of Maryborough here, so it's a pretty safe area to practice this. We'll do the height loss from 2,000 and we'll climb back up. We'll do this about 3 times. At the moment the wind is from the, definitely from the west. Where's the smoke gone? There. So it's behind me. Currently we've got 3 knot tailwind. There's not much wind really at all. Checking for traffic always, just in case, just to be clear that there's nothing around me at this time for this testing. Keep an eye on the time this morning. We've got 15 minutes to complete this, which is plenty. Alright, at the moment I can see I've got a row of trees that we can use as a reference. There's some lines on the ground that would almost do as well, but trees are probably good, easier to see. I think fence lines would be too hard to see, you know, like they wouldn't really give us a clear and accurate reference for when we make the turn. Probably, but maybe not. Alright, so coming off cruise control, I'm going to use foot pedal control power. Make sure we're at 2,000 feet. We'll turn to the south and we'll make our first turn. All I'm going to do here is reference how much altitude we lose, so it's not like I'm trying to land back on the ground at all. So yeah, this is all about the fact that there's been a little bit of discussion about whether or not we should be talking about this, and I really feel strongly that anyone that's been taught to do this should be practicing it. And if you're not competent to do it, you should have an instructor in the back, because you never know when the engine's going to stop, and not all runways have somewhere to land. You want to know if you can get back to the runway, and you want to know what self-altitude you can do that at. Righty, so here we are. So I have to make a right-hand turn to line up with my trees. You can see them below. And we'll maintain 2,000 initially. Once we get this straightened out, we'll be ready to go. And it's all on. Right, there's 2,000 feet exactly. And there's the line up on the trees. Get level. So we've just taken off, we're at 2,000 feet, but we're at 500 really. We're going to kill the power. Right, first thing, bar in, turn, get it round, and speed. Airspeed, watch the airspeed. Now the advantage of knowing where I'm starting from with 2,000 feet, I can slow this down a lot more. That's almost turning on a dime. Right, we're back to reference. We're going to do a 45-degree approach onto that. And at the moment I'm 500 feet down already. I did not do that correctly, did I? It's much harder when you're so high above the ground. Now on the runway before I was able to do a 400 feet loss, so we're going to regain 2,000 feet. Actually, probably from this angle here, I can do it from 500 feet. So here we go. Power off. Bar out. We've got to get to there. 55. 55 is our speed. Now it was 1,500 feet. 55 knots. Hold it. Okay, straighten out. Line up with the runway. Yeah, I don't know what happened then. I've only lost 200 feet. Did that make a heap of difference? Alright, we're going up to 1,500. Maintain this track. There's 500, kill the power, and pull the bar in, turn around, get that initial 55 glide. 55, airspeed 55, airspeed's critical. Okay, there's the run.
Traffic, try and work the right, approaching the runway traffic. So move, try and work the right, 6344. We're currently on the west side of Fraser Island, over water, tracking 0 for 5 days for August 18th. There's a land sitting down to 1,000 feet. Fraser Island, trying to get down to the Moscow frequency. Fraser Island.
was 300 feet loss. I wasn't saying I was lined up with the runway at the time though. This time we're going to do a right-hand turn. That's now.
Traffic Harvey Bay and Fraser Island, either 50
That noise is really distracting.
is currently overhead the field at Harvey Bay, 2,500 on climb to 3,500. Check-in 040 for Fraser Island and copy the microlights, check-in up the west coast for Fraser. Harvey Bay traffic.
Definitely, that's 200 feet. We're not back yet though, peeps. So, we've got 52 knots there. That's 300 feet. We're not lined up with the runway. That's what you've got to remember. You've got to get back onto the axis of the runway, and we're now lost 400 feet. And I'd say we'd be on the deck now. So there's 400 feet. Do another right-hander. It gets a lot more real when you're on the runway. Okay, so we're climbing, 1,500. There it is there, right-hand turn, power off, pull the bar in, maintain speed, get it round. Okay, we've got 55 knots. Let's slow it down a bit more, get it round. We can go a bit harder on that. And there's the runway. Gee, that was like touchdown. Am I getting better? That's 150 feet. Oh, practice. Let's go with 1,500 again. Probably helps too that I've got a bit of speed on when I'm climbing, of course. It's 1,500. Do a left-hand turn this time, into wind. Alright, there's we're too high. Let's go 2,000 anyway. Flight too long. Converting speed into altitude. Okay, there's 2,000, power off. Oh, okay, nose in. Okay, turn, got speed. I'm not turning before I make sure my speed is correct. Okay, push the bar, and that was 2,000, and we're back on the runway. That's 200 feet lost, and there's a return right there, 300 feet, less than 250 feet. Let's go back 2,000. Do a right-hand turn into wind this time. Power off. Okay, bar in. Get the speed. Turn. ASAP. Make the turn. Bar out. Turn. Always helps to talk yourself through it. Gee, the G-forces. Definitely helps to have a better control over that speed. There's 200 feet. Okay, that's easy. Can we do a 180? 360. 200 feet. 2,000 feet. So that was about 250 feet loss. I was way out of practice, obviously, the other day. You'll see what happened, and that's what happens when you get out of practice. Remembering these aren't in chronological order, I've already done it. Power off. Right, what did we say we're going to do? A 360. Power, okay, bar out. Let's keep the glide at 50. Let's see if we can slow. I can't see the altitude, that's the problem. The airspeed, sorry. So I'm going to do a 360 back to the runway. And we're going to see how much height we lose in a 360. I feel that this is a fairly significant bank. Okay, we're back on the runway and level, and there's 350 feet back to the runway. Okay, what's the time? 56, time to head back. I think that sort of shows that we can do a lot better than I did when I tested this the other day. You'll have to watch that video. Okay, you'll have to watch those videos and see how I didn't do. Not good. But you get the idea when you see it. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340 is 4 miles to the east at 1,800 inbound to full stop runway 17 Maryborough. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340 joins downwind, runway 17 full stop Maryborough. Maryborough traffic, practice force landing, runway 17 Maryborough, microlight 6340. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340, clear of all runways, Maryborough.
At the end of this series, we'll also be looking at and analysing what happened in those different scenarios. And as I said earlier as well, we'll be looking at an alternative way for takeoff and risk mitigation. Thanks for watching this one, and we'll catch you again soon in the upcoming series. Bye for now. So before you go next committing aviation, here are 2 videos I thought you'd enjoy in the meantime until the next episode.